You should either have the availability to pull up a credit report, which costs you very little, have it $35, $40 a month to be in that service, or you should be able to pick up the phone and call a credit bureau and have them do it for you orally. If you choose not to do any of the above, you have several other choices. One of them being you can have the buyer go pull their own credit report and bring it to you. If you're going to sell somebody a house and take back a mortgage, don't you ever do it without pulling a credit report. Some way, shape, or form. Okay? What you're looking for is not good credit. What you're looking for is the ability to pay, and you're trying to weed out real scumbags. If you pull up a credit report and it's got a foreclosure and 2 evictions on it, do you think maybe it's time to put on the brakes? If you pull up a credit report that's got a bankruptcy on it, is that a problem? Folks, I'd just soon my buyers were all bankrupt. I'm their only debt. I don't have to worry about getting paid. If they ain't up to their eyeballs and credit cards and stores and all that kind of stuff, I'm the only one they got to worry about, with a few exceptions. I don't care if they're bankrupt. What I'm looking for is the ability to pay more than anything else. Therefore, I must know their gross income, and when I pull a credit report, I'll be able to know what their debts are. If their debts are higher than about 30% of their if their debts combined with their payment are higher than about 50% of their gross income, I'm going to have a problem collecting, and I know it.
Ron?
Yes?
Don't they have to sign something before you pull out their credit?
I'm so glad you brought that up. He says, can I pull their credit report without their written permission? The answer is yes, as long as I have their permission. It does not have to be written. If I have their Social Security number and all the information that I just put up there on the board, it is assumed that I have been given permission. Therefore, if I pull their credit report, I better keep something on file so that I can answer the question as to why I pulled it if I get called down on it. It is illegal to pull a credit report without their information, without their permission, ladies and gentlemen. You should know that. But they can give you that permission on the telephone. Incidentally, if somebody pulls your credit report without permission, it is just as illegal. And it usually will result in a $5,000 settlement in your favor. How do I know what? Every credit report that you pull has recent inquiries on your credit report. You know who pulled it. Careful now. If you have a bank that you owe money to, they have the right to pull your credit report anytime they want to. Anybody you owe money to has a right to pull it at their discretion. But if you got inquiries on there that you don't have a clue where they came from, it's up to you to inquire where they came from. Now, if I pull this individual's credit report and I can show that I pulled it, I have this application in front of me that I filled out over the telephone, and he was trying to buy this house, that's the end of that deal. Okay? I don't worry about that. All right. Okay. Let's say I pull a credit report and I find out that they're not a scumbag. I'll simply keep my appointment. I pull a credit report and I find out they are a scumbag. I call them up on the phone. I say, Lou, you didn't tell me you was a scumbag. You forgot to tell me. Lou, you forgot to tell me about that foreclosure you had last year and those 2 evictions since. No sense of keeping the appointment, Lou. I can't help you. Okay?
Some potential buyers will confuse non-qualifying and want to know, well, why did you pull a credit report if it was non-qualifying?
Good question. You pull their credit report when your ad says non-qualifying. My response is, I'm not going to qualify you. I'm just checking to see if you have the ability to make the payments. Okay? And that is my right as a seller. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? Who says it's a problem?
If he
If that's a problem, maybe you ought to get your rump down the street and see if you can find somebody else's house you can buy without going down to the bank. Because if we got a problem, because I'm pulling your credit report, if we got a problem at this point and you don't even know my house yet, I can imagine what kind of problems we're going to have when I try to collect my payments. In fact, if we got a problem with this kind of buyer, it's time to cut this relationship right now. Especially when you got a lot more right behind them who would love to have this house. Folks, when I'm dealing with buyers who can't qualify anywhere else but me, I don't take their garbage. I just don't. And if I find myself getting on the defensive here, I quickly slap myself. Wake up, man. You don't have to put up with this crap. You better get these people out of here because they're going to be a problem. And I don't need no problems. The truth is, the buyers are going to sit there and they're going to try to explain to me why they should have the right to buy my house. And if that's not the attitude that they've got, it's probably not the right people that I want in there. I want people that are excited about buying this house. Most of them are. Excited about the opportunity. There's no way they're going to get me to crawl up in the corner in a fetal position and defend myself because I own a house. Not going to happen. Who had a question over here? Okay, go ahead and get that one right there.
You said that if their debt plus their payment is 50% or more of their gross income,
No, 50% or more, yeah, of their gross income, family gross income.
Then you just automatically write them off.
I don't automatically write them off, but I want to know if there's more income that ain't showing up here that they haven't told me about. And I want to know if any of this debt is going to get paid off real shortly. Okay? I'm telling you from experience, there's a reason why the banks won't approve anything over 41%. Because statistics show that it takes more than that to survive, and if your debts are higher than that, you're going to have a problem. I'll go 50% or so. But frankly, if I got a buyer who's going to be making me a $1,500 a month payment, and their total gross income is $3,000, I got a problem here. I ain't going to get into this trap because I'm just setting myself up for a problem later, and I know it. I'd rather pass and wait for the next buyer who's probably right outside my door or as close as a phone call away. So I'm not looking to pre-screen the heck out of them, but I am going to find out if their income will justify the debt. And that's really what I tell them. I say, really, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not all that concerned about your credit. I am concerned about your ability to pay, and I reserve the right to check that. And if that's a problem for you, maybe this ain't the house for you. Okay? Let's go on. When you buy a